Solving trig equations with technology. There are some equations that just cannot be solved using algebra. Take a look at this simple example. Maybe you're thinking, oh, we could square root each side to get rid of this x squared. Yeah, but then this other x would be trapped both in a cosine and in a square root. Or maybe you're thinking, oh, we could inverse cosine the left to free up this x. Okay, but then this x squared would be trapped inside an inverse cosine. There's just no algebra way you can tackle this equation. So what we'll do instead is we'll use our graphing calculator. Here's what we can do. I'm going to think of the left side of this equation as a function, and then I'm going to think of the right side of this equation as a function. I'm going to graph the two functions, and I'm going to figure out where they intersect. The x-coordinates of the intersection points will be my solutions. So I'm at the calculator, I'm in radian mode. That's good. The directions said I wanted real number solutions. Remember, in the trig functions, they can take real numbers as long as you think of them as angles in radian measure. I'll go to the y equals. We decided we were going to put in cosine x in the y1 line, and then x squared, there's a squared button over here, in the y2 line. And I'm not sure what window to use. I think I'll just try the Z trig option, zoom 7, and see if I can see what's going on there. Aha, the blue graph is my familiar cosine graph, and hopefully you recognize the red graph, y equals x squared. It's a simple parabola. Well, from this graph, I can see there are two spots where the functions intersect. In other words, two x values where those two sides of the equation are going to come out to be the same thing. The calculator has a feature for finding intersection points. It's in the Calc menu, which is in blue above Trace. So if I go there and choose choice 5, intersect, the calculator does ask me a series of questions. Do you want to use the first curve? That is the y1. So I'm going to say yes by hitting enter. How about the second curve? Yes. And then guess means move the cursor next to the intersection point you're trying to find. There are a couple of intersections here. Which one do you want to find? Well, I want to find that one. Hit enter one last time. When it says intersection, you're all set. Now, I've got both the x and y coordinate here. From the standpoint of my equation, though, all I'm interested in is the x value. And so x is about 0.824. All we're saying here is that if you took that x value and plugged it into the original equation, you'll get the same answer on both sides. We know that because the graphs match at that spot. Now, it does look like there's one more answer over here on the left. I don't know that I really need to use the calculator. I hope you can see from the symmetry of the graph what the answer must be. But I can go ahead and demonstrate. If I go back to the Calc menu, choose choice 5, intersect, say yes to the first curve, yes to the second curve. This time I'll move the cursor over next to that other intersection point, hit enter, and of course I get negative 0.824. These graphs are very symmetrical. And there are my two solutions. Thanks for watching.